Today I am joining in the celebrations of the International Day of Plant Health. Yes, that's a thing. I didn't know that was a thing. And it seems like a good thing to celebrate, given all that we're doing to the natural world, given how distant we have generally become from our environments, from the cycles of life. I had a year or so as a gardener in the last few years where I was fortunate enough to have a garden and be able to put up a polytunnel, and it's crazy that I was nearly 50 years old before I was finally able to have that kind of initiation into participating with nature in the growing of food, and I learnt so much about plants and their health at that time. I mean, I'm someone who's loved having house plants through all my adult life. I believe in having life in a living environment, and I think plants give back just as much as you give to them. And I've learnt to tend for plants and to keep healthy beings keep in around my living space. But today we are really diving into a relationship with the plant world that is so alien to me, where farmers are being replaced by indoor growing factories. The future, as it seems the industrialists imagine it, is that we can grow all of our food produce under artificial lighting. And for me, the jury is as yet out as to whether that is truly an effective way of growing, of creating healthy agriculture, because we know so little about the subtle energies that affect living organisms. We may well be able to grow plants under artificial lighting in hydroponic setups where there's no soil, even just water being fed with nutrients to the plant, but we still don't know whether or not the life force, the vitality of plants is truly being transmitted through the mycelium, through the soil, through the forest floor. We don't know enough about the electromagnetic spectrum, and whether just this very limited frequency spectrum that we get from artificial lighting really mirrors what it is that we get from the sun and from light being filtered through clouds and through our atmosphere. We're really, we think we're so clever, but ultimately we're just fumbling around. We're still only just beginning to understand the complexity of the root systems of a forest like this, the role that mycelium, the fungus, the mushrooms really play in the communication systems that occur between trees and plants and shrubs and indeed the animals and the bird life. We still completely disregard the effect of the song of birds on growth patterns. And yet now we are beginning to understand that in fact there it seems to be some symbiotic relationship, that in fact it seems that birds sing the spring into they signal that it's time for plants to begin particular processes. The complexity of our biosphere is just so phenomenal, and we're like, yeah, all we need to do, stick it in some water with these chemicals and a light on top, and it's going to be fine. Well, how well do you think us humans are looking right now? Look at the state of us, our skins, our vitality, our weight issues, our drug dependence. And, we think that if we sit inside on a sofa, watching a screen, without fresh sunlight, without fresh running water, without all the nutrients and real living organisms that are growing in the ground, we're going to be fine. Doesn't look that way, does it? So today, I'm celebrating the International Day of Plant Health as a reflection and as an opportunity for us to think about our own health and the health of our habitats and the health of this absolutely beautiful world that we have been gifted to live in. There is so much to be grateful for in this experience, and I've just passed through probably one of the most difficult periods of my life. Like if ever there was a time for me to be struggling to find gratitude to be alive, it would be today. I'm on the other side of some very, very challenging personal circumstances. I'm officially homeless today. I haven't been on the streets, but I don't have a place to live. And yet, despite that, there is no doubt that I am grateful to be alive and have enormous respect for what it is to be a living organism on this living planet that we call Earth. So today, I'm celebrating plant health.